Sometimes a day can start off with a simple goal and end with you pulling off something a lot bigger than you anticipated. Moving on from our bizarre one-liner, today's date is June 4th, 2024, and I am located at the Leap Road Railroad Crossing in Hillyard, Ohio, alongside CSX's Scotts Lawn Secondary. On this day, I set out with the hopes of catching CSX M246, which was believed to have one of CSX's newly rebuilt SD70 Max taking it today. The first train of the day would show up less than 10 minutes after I did, which was CSX Empty Coal Train E895, on its way from Bryce, North Carolina back for the mines in Princeton, Indiana. With the radio telling me that westbound trains were being put into Willis and Kyle siding, I decided to move locations in preparation for the next train. The location of choice was the abandoned Heritage Co-op grain elevator in Kyleville, Ohio, and the next train on the docket today was CSX M246, a daily Columbus, Ohio to Gibson, Indiana mixed freight train. M246 was instructed by the dispatcher to take the siding here in Kyleville for an opposing eastbound train, which we'll see in a little bit. As you're seeing here, M246 was only taking about 10 miles an hour into the siding as its dark signal territory. That being said, the footage was sped up about 75% as an attempt to save some time. It is also important to mention that M246 is a relatively new train, as it was added to the CSX system within the last 6 to 8 months. Now, what would happen next would be pretty strange, as the E895 from earlier and the M246 from now would be meeting CSX L332. Or what was believed to be L332. My radio wasn't on at the time, and CSX made the strange choice of making both of those trains wait for just one locomotive with no train to continue to Parsons Yard. That's all she wrote for that one. Later on in the afternoon, I was making my way down to the Central Ohio Model Railroad Club to participate in the weekly operating session. However, when I was crossing the Columbus subdivision, a yellow signal would catch my attention. After closer examination, I noticed that the yellow signal was at the bottom of the cantilever, and also saw a triangle of headlights of a northbound train waiting just before the signal and the switch for the center siding. The train the yellow signal belonged to was CSX local freight L457, on a daily run between Walbridge, Ohio and Columbus, Ohio, with a solo SD-70 Mace in the lead carrying general merchandise, and even a small cut of double stacks mixed in as well. Would you look at that? The center siding that's almost never used here is actually being used to meet trains. I know you can't really see it here, but you'll see it in just a second. There's another train on the other track that's waiting to go north. So once the switch has been reversed, the northbound should go. After L457 made his way into the center siding and the dispatcher relined the switch for the main line, the northbound was turned loose. The northbound in question was revealed to be a loaded coke train, believed to be CSX B410, on an as-needed run out of Newport News, Virginia back to Gibson, Indiana. Once I finally got to the Model Railroad Club and was putting my train on the layout, one of the other club members notified me of a CSX train that would be utilizing the Columbus Line subdivision, aka the Burt Line. The train in question, a southbound loaded coal train, was quick to show up, however only doing between 5 and 10 miles an hour as he did not have the clearance over the diamond just past the Route 161 overpass.
Good. Yeah, you're good. Stop. You're good. So we got lucky enough to have him pull up. Watch him like freak out because his train's too long and then split. They done that? I've seen him do it.
The distant horn you just heard belonged to the train that was overtaking CSX here. That being a Norfolk Southern southbound mixed freight train going down the Sandusky district, believed to be either 18W or 118. However, the correct symbol cannot be determined, but can be guessed by the coke cars present in the train's consist. A shiny new AC-44C6M rebuild brought up the end of the Norfolk Southern mixed freight train, and as we're about to see here, bringing up the rear of the CSX loaded coal train was an old, reliable, unrebuilt AC-4400CW. After getting the opportunity to run my trains inside for a little bit, another club member would notify me of a northbound train quickly approaching. The Sandusky district would reveal the train's identity to be NS-271, a daily intermodal train that comes out of Rickenbacker Yard in Columbus, Ohio, and goes to Landers Yard in Chicago, Illinois, led by two BNSF Pumpkin GEs, the leader of which being equipped with a hybrid K5HL air horn. The Sandusky district would come alive once again just after dark with another northbound, specifically NS-170, a daily Chattanooga, Tennessee to Conway, Pennsylvania mixed freight train. On my way home, I ended up crossing the CSX Columbus subdivision at the Route 161 railroad crossing to find a green signal and headlights of a southbound train quickly approaching. I pulled into the parking lot of the local farmers market just in time to see a very short CSX M635, a daily mixed freight train that runs between Selkirk, New York and Columbus, Ohio. After catching CSX M635, I then continued my way home, which now concludes yet another video. When it was all said and done, I ended up pulling off a Danny Harmon-style railfanning trip without even trying to, as evident by the amount of places that I went, in addition to the construction of this video using a healthy blend of his style of editing and my style of editing as well. If you enjoyed this video, consider checking out some other ones of mine. Leave a like or a comment down below to share your thoughts, subscribe if you're new, and tap the notifications bell if you want to be notified when a new video gets posted here on the channel. Till next time, this is All Ohio Railfan, signing off.